Here for it live with special guest Julia Pimsleur. I am so happy to have you here with me today.
Woot woot. I've been excited for this. Great to see you, Catherine.
Yeah, so I always like to chat about how we've connected and what you're all about. So do you want to go ahead and take the lead there?
Absolutely. Yeah, we met through Vern Harnish, who is on my board. He's the founder of Scaling Up and the founder of the Entrepreneurs Organization. And he was like, you have to know Catherine. She's building this incredible space for women in upstate New York, and you help women scale up. She's primed to do that. So he connected us, and the rest is history. You took our program. We've loved watching you, one, hit the $1 million mark, and two, just everything you're creating to help women have a space where they can connect with each other, find educational resources, network. We love, love, love what you're doing. And now we officially partnered too, which I'm super excited about.
Yes, absolutely. So I love, I'm obsessed with learning. I'm obsessed with advancing myself. And I don't ever believe that you're done doing that. So if I can find, an accelerator or a program that I can tap into that might be a resource for our members, I'm all in. So I was so thrilled to join your accelerator. And now there are some members from Palette who are in the accelerator themselves. I saw Becky just last night and she's like, I am loving this program. So
so excited to hear that. Yeah, we're thrilled to have three of your Palette members with us. I think it's Sarah, Becky, and Lisa. And there's so many synergies between what you're doing and what we're doing. We're super focused on revenue generation. We're just all about more women making more money. So it's very complementary with what you're doing, bringing women together for learning and networking and having resources they can use to grow their business and live their best lives, right? Because we're not like a business person over here and, a mother or spouse or someone trying to change the world over there. These two need to merge. And I think that's what you're doing at Palette.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't until I really started to invest in my own personal development that I could start to see that my businesses were growing too. So, as a working mom, and, it goes hand in hand. And I don't think that, I think growing up, I was always kind of taught and guided to keep these things separate. And it's just not reality for us. So
and especially as entrepreneurs, right? Maybe in the corporate world, people have to show up as like, oh, here I am in my suit and let me put on my, corporate voice and everything. But in entrepreneurship, like the more natural you are and the more you bring the real you to the table, the better it's going to be for your business. So I think you're really modeling that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm working on it. That's for sure. And so tell us more about, your trajectory and how you got started and why you are so passionate about helping women make more money.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of an accidental entrepreneur, like many women entrepreneurs, where I just saw something that I found I wanted and needed and that was not in the marketplace. So I decided to build it. And in my case, that was a language teaching multimedia program for very young children. I was lucky to grow up bilingual in French and English. And when I had my first son, Emmett, I really wanted to teach him French. And there was nothing on the market to teach little kids a second language. So I created Little Pim, this language teaching program that some of you may have used with your kids. And we had 13 languages. We got into mass retail. We were in 22 countries. It kind of grew quickly, which was exciting. But at the same time, I didn't go to business school, didn't have a finance background. I was a film major in college. So there was just so much I didn't know, and even things I didn't know that I didn't know, right? So I kind of hit this wall when we got to about 400,000 in revenues, where I was just working so hard. I had two little boys at home by then, ages 3 and 6. And I would, get into the office super early back when everybody had to be in the office, team of 9, and we were working away. Actually, no, at that point, a smaller team, I think more like 3. And then I'd get home, feed the kids, give them their bath, get right back on the computer up until midnight, subtitling foreign language videos and whatnot, and then start all over again. And I was burning out, Catherine. Really, I was like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. We were making 400,000 in revenues, but a lot of that was going into inventory and the team. And what I was taking home was really not enough as one of the main breadwinners in my family to support our family in New York City. So I started thinking, well, maybe I'm just not cut out for this CEO thing. Like I always thought I wanted to do this, but I'm not really having that much fun anymore. And it's not making the big bucks. And that's where, like you, I'm a big learner. And, it's like, okay, well, if someone can help me figure this out, I'm going to go do that. And I paid a lot of money that I didn't really have at the time, put it on a credit card and just thought, okay, hope this works out, to take a program. And the program helped me make really tough decisions, learn new skills, fill in all my business gaps. And that was when we got the company up into the multi-millions, raised 6 million in venture capital, built a board, built a team, hired people away from Disney, got into mass retail, all the things I'd been wanting, which was great and super gratifying. But then there was a new problem, which is that all the women disappeared from the room. Every entrepreneurial gathering I went to was suddenly all men and like 1 or 2 women. And I just couldn't figure out what was wrong. And that was when I found out, a stat many of us know and cry over, which is that only 2% of women business owners ever reach 1 million in revenues. And for women of color, it's fewer than 1%. So that became kind of my new mission, to close that gap and help more women get to 1 million. And that's what I'm working on full time today.
Yes. And in between there, you wrote books. And so, I kind of would love for you to chat about, because I mean, I experienced that same, story of just like grinding and getting, and you kind of like reflect on like, what am I even doing all this for? I'm exhausted,
Right?
And that's a piece that I think is so powerful you write about it in your books, but also in the program that you do is, you start with mindset, and you start with like, you need to really be prepared for what you're about to embark on, because it is hard work, and it's really hard on the founder, on the person that's building it. And so I would love for you to chat more about that, and why you felt it was so important to include in your program.
Yeah, I mean, when I was trying to make those big changes so that I could scale up Little Pim, the language teaching company, which we recently sold. So I'm celebrating that. I haven't even had a chance to share that with you. But
oh my God, that's awesome.
Thank you. Yes, we just exited. I've been on the board all these years. That was about 7 years ago that I left, but not really involved in the day-to-day, except for to find the buyer, which I did. And with my board, was thrilled to take that through to the end. Hello, Horace. Wanted to be part of this. So anyway, what were we saying? Right. So once I realized, okay, not that many women are reaching 1 million in revenues. I'm not going to show you my cat's butt. It's okay. maybe not your butt. So once I realized there was this issue, I started teaching in my conference room on weekends, just kind of inviting in other women who I knew wanted to raise capital or wanted to get ahead. Funny enough, last night I co-hosted a panel here in New York City with Level Up Legal, and we had 3 women who built multi-million-dollar businesses. One of them was Natalie Mackey, who was in one of my conference room workshops 7 years ago. She was heading out to raise capital for her company, Winky Lux, which is now doing 100 million at retail every year.
Yes.
And she's just a mega success, amazing woman, totally pay it forward. But it all started in my conference room on a weekend, saying, hey, here are the secrets to raising capital and scaling up, because no one told me. So probably no one's telling you either. And, if we want more women at the table, we're going to have to start sharing these secrets and best practices as women.
Yeah. I would love for you to kind of talk about that too, because I think that for women, it's hard. I see this every day. It's very difficult for them to ask for help and to kind of like bring people into the mess of it all, and like what is not working and what is working, and really bringing people in. And I think you hit the nail on the head, the shared resources. So it's been my belief that like, I don't want my daughters to have to go through the hardships that I've had to go through, or even just women that are younger than me who are just starting out, trying to find their way. You don't have to find your own way. You can literally bring people along with you, and they can help you get there. And, I think that's mentorship, sponsorship is huge. And I think that like, we really need to demonstrate, you do this so well, demonstrating how to facilitate women asking for help. And then
we're talking about creating comfortable spaces like you're doing, like I'm doing. I mean, I think, look, it all goes back to socialization, right? We are socialized as women to head down, work harder, work longer. That's the path to success. Most of us were raised to think that was the way we were going to get ahead. And I'm not sure if it works in corporate America. I've actually never worked in corporate America. I've always been an entrepreneur, but it definitely does not work in entrepreneurship. The skills you need are not to be the best multitasker and stay up till 2 a.m. The skills you need are the same ones the guys are being socialized in, which is how do you do your genius work, protect that, and delegate, outsource, and automate the rest, right? I mean, it
Right.
sounds simple. It's easy. It's a little harder to execute on that. But until we start sharing with each other, like, hey, we need to undo all this socialization, like all that stuff you learned out the window. Really, if you want to get ahead, there's a whole new set of skills to learn. And it's so much more fun and easy to learn it with other women going through the same thing, which is why I do the group programs. And, just to circle back, you asked about the book. So after teaching in conference rooms for a couple of years, and I helped about 15 women raise a collective 75 million. So that was really exciting. And Natalie was one of those. She raised 12 million. I realized, okay, I can't keep raising my kids, running Little Pim, writing books. So I decided to just do the book, leave Little Pim, and start full-time helping women with $1 Million Women. And the book just really resonated, I think, because so many women were like me, where they were like, started a company because there was something out there I couldn't find. So I created it. You did that with Sip and Paint, right? Where you live. And now with Palette, you wanted both those things. They didn't exist. You created them. That's actually very typical story for women entrepreneurs. And I just decided it was time to go all in full time. And so many women resonated with this story in the book. And I told other people's stories too in $1 Million Women, not just my own, because there are women across the country who didn't go to business school, don't have a finance background, have started this business full of verve and excitement and passion. And then, year in, 2 years in, 5 years in, it's like, do I actually have the skills to take this big? And what do I need to change in order to get there? And that's really when women come to us at $1 Million Women. And when you came to us, and we're so glad you did.
Yeah. So tell everyone, what is the best way to get a hold of you? How can they work with you? And how can they tap into the $1 Million Network?
Yeah, we have a national network of women entrepreneurs across the country and in Canada who are going big together. And what that looks like is joining our monthly membership, which we keep very affordable. And you can find that at millionwomen.com. And when you join, you get access to weekly events, interviews with women who've built multi-million-dollar businesses, coaching with me, coaching with our 3 other coaches. And then for women who are ready for more intensive business accelerator, we have the $1 Million Women Accelerator that you went through, and some women in Palette are going through now. But not everyone's ready for that. So you can join the network, hang out, meet other amazing women, start building your skills, and then raise your hand when you're ready for the Business Accelerator. So those are probably the 2 best ways to interact with us. If you're in New York City or can get there, we are having an amazing summit for 300 women. Catherine will be there, a lot of women from Palette. So excited for that on May 19th. And it's an all-day event. So that's coming right up. But if you're watching this after that's gone, there's plenty of other opportunities to interact with us.
Yes, absolutely. And Julia and $1 Million Women are partners here at Palette. So if you want a connection there too, we can make it happen. And I just want to leave with saying, May 19th is, so when you join Julia's accelerator, she makes you put on the calendar, go big or go big day. This is your go big day. And May 19th is my go big day.
Yay, that's so perfect. I love it. We're going to have to celebrate together with you.
Yes, full circle moment. I love those.
Yes, because I'm sure you know this as a lifelong learner, that there's the day you start a program, and that's an exciting day. But the day you decide to take a program, that's what we call our go big day, because that's the day that you decide, I'm done with the old way. It got me here, so that's good, but it's not going to get me there. And that's a big decision and a hard decision to make as women, right? To invest in ourselves, to raise our hand and say we need help, and then to take that leap. It's always a leap, right? Am I going to trust this person or this program to get me to that next place? So we like to celebrate that day, and I can't wait to celebrate yours with you on May 19th.
Yes, I cannot wait. It's been a great opportunity and experience to work with you and meet all the other women that are involved. And again, for me to be able to now, it's kind of like an endorsement. I don't want to bring all my people over to a program that didn't work for me or wasn't aligned truly. So I'm thrilled that there are Palette people involved in the network now, and they're going through the accelerator, and I can't wait to hear the stories that come out of their cohort. So yeah, it's all good things. I'm so happy to have been connected with you, and thanks to Vern. I'll never forget. I saw him at a conference about 2 years ago, maybe, and I was just chatting with him, whatever. And he's like, "That's it. You gotta connect with Julia." So
I love that. I meet some of my favorite women through my guy friends. I'm not sure why that is, but we're definitely grateful. I think I have his book right here. Let's plug his book. There we go. Yeah. This is an awesome read all about how to scale up your business. And we teach some of the curriculum in our accelerator course because it's more geared towards kind of 1 million to 20 or 50 million, but gems in here. And yeah, big shout out and thanks to Vern. But I'm just so glad that you and I have connected and can come together to provide more resources for women going big. Because aren't women just freaking amazing, right? Like raising children, taking care of aging parents, starting businesses, going where like no woman has gone before in their family, right? I think of Sarah, who moved here from Egypt and started this incredible Middle Eastern food company. And now she's looking at her different options. Like, should I make frozen food? Should I have meal delivery? Whereas when she joined the program, she was like, I think I just have to have a restaurant. That seems like the next thing. But I don't want to have a restaurant because I have kids at home and I'm never going to see them. And that's what I love about $1 Million Women is we help women see all the options for scaling. So she's not going to have a restaurant. She's going to have something that's going to go way bigger, way faster, and allow her to enjoy time with her family. And we're just so excited to be part of it.
Yes. And it is in those moments where you feel like, I've gotten this time and time again, like, you got 3 little girls, like you're doing too much. You're like all over the place. And it's like, no, actually I'm not all over the place. I know exactly what I'm doing. And you officially are not in my circle of support anymore because you don't see it.
Well, and by the way, the next question should be, have you built a multi-million-dollar business? Oh, you haven't? Okay. Well then, keep your opinions to yourself.
Yeah. Right? I mean, I just think it's just so powerful to be surrounded with people who do believe in you, who do see the bigger picture, and that it is attainable. The jury's not out on this. It is attainable. There are so many examples of women who've done this. So anyway.
And I know we have to wrap up, but I think something else we're both passionate about, and maybe we should do a whole other show on, is like, how do you show up as your full self? Because I think since the business world was created by men, we often feel like we can't show up as our full selves. We have to compartmentalize, right? It's like, I'm a mom over here and now I'm a businesswoman. But in fact, we should be able to integrate all those parts of our lives. And that's what we're helping Sarah to do, right? It's like, how do you build a business that acknowledges and honors that you want to be a super involved mom? That is so doable, and make a lot of money and create generational wealth. We should all be proud and excited about wanting to make more money, because it means serving more clients, closing the economic gender gap, and, really changing the narrative for women forever. So high five to that right here. Let's high five. We can high five in the camera. Yes. Boom.
Yes. and yes, we could talk about this forever. Yes. I'm like, and again, anytime you want to come back on the program, I'm happy to have you. Thank you so much for being here. I know you're busy. So this is Julia Pimsleur, everyone. If you want to get in touch with her, by all means, let me know or contact her directly. She's so accessible and so honest.
Thank you. And I love social media. So follow me on Instagram. I'll follow you back. We love, connecting on social media, just at Julia Pimsleur or $1 Million Women, which is spelled million DLR women on Instagram. Thanks for creating this space, Catherine. That was so much fun. We'll do it again.
Yeah. All right, great. Bye.